Hey folks, welcome back to Let's Play Wolong Fallen Dynasty on Series JG, and I thought we'd start at the start screen for once. Because in theory, we might get some new messages as we load up here. Because I have attempted, add-on content, Conqueror of Jiangdong is now available to play. Add-on content, Upheaval in Zhongyang is now available to play. Because somehow I uploaded, I got the season pass. I was a little worried about this at one point. Like, did I screw up and buy the season pass and not buy it correctly? But in fact, we have. I bought the season pass. I just hadn't installed the second and third DLCs as they arrived. And this would suggest that the next game is going to open. And this is assuming they're going to make a sequel to this, and that sequel. That sequel will be dubbed in English is an even bigger assumption. I'm kind of thrown now by the idea that the Neo games, Neo 2 is dubbed into English, and this game is dubbed into English, but then Samurai Warriors wasn't. Maybe Samurai Warriors is the series that they've given up on in the West, or overall, or decided it is even more niche and for anime fans only, Japophiles only, and not for people who want to hear stuff dubbed into English. So there might be, I guess I might be banking that this series would be more successful in the West than the non-Dynasty Warriors games. But either way, so that DLC we just did was about Cao Cao fighting the Yellow Turbans, and it was set before the end of the game, the main game. And Conqueror of Jiangdong would also be set before the game we just saw, because Conqueror of Jiangdong would really have to be, and it's my favorite, it's really one of my favorite parts of the whole narrative, certainly in video game form. Alpha's back in POG form. Like in both RTK and in Dynasty Warriors, one of my favorite things is to play the scenarios that are about Sun Tzu defeating. I don't remember any of their names. There's a couple of minor warlords nearby that he defeats in fairly rapid succession, and he just comes out of nowhere, RKO style. He goes from being like a general under Yuan Shu to just building himself a power base. Like he comes out of nowhere and just fucking makes himself a player. And it's a lot of fun in RTK because you have this high concentration of really good officers and like a single base that you're starting with, and you're surrounded by people that you can choose to go after. Like you can kind of choose where you're going to go next. It's fun in an RTK way. Like when I play the RTK games, it's almost always more fun to start in a map full of small regional powers than it is to like play the scenarios where there's already three kingdoms and gaining any ground against any one of them is a huge thing, and because they're all really huge forces. But that's what this next DLC would be about. And the third one, if it's the name suggests, it's going to be about this stuff like Liu Bei fighting like intrigues and stuff while he was working for Liu Biao, and that would wrap before that would make the next game, if there is one, would be opening around the time that we go to Turvey. So I don't know if there's going to be, events that turn Cao Cao into the bad guy, but we can't be flitting back and forth willy-nilly working for all three of the groups that will eventually be the three kingdoms in the next game, because you're going to be going up against each other directly. At any rate. Oh, there's deliveries. This would be, makes me nervous that things got converted into materials when I, like, did some of what would have been delivered have that happen? We have the Jiangshu Longsword, Thorn Whip. But do I actually have them, or were they just converted into materials? Because this is what this suggests is that there are new weapon types that weren't in the game before the DLC. Yeah, because we got a little picture up here of see, these are pommel sabers. Including our weird puppet sabers. Oh, but these are both locked in some way, shape, or form. There's a little... Yeah, I don't know what the... Okay, well, I'm not sure what that little symbol means, the brown one, but the red one means that they're locked. And now I can't do one symbol without the other, so, okay. Would be used to administer corporal punishment to criminals. And it's set up to cut deep into a man's flesh. Oh, he was promoted ahead of him, but eventually apologized, saying, "You may strike me with the sword whip." Afterwards, they became the most steadfast of allies. Hey, sounds like we got some kink going on here. So somebody was like, "Strike me with this whip. You know I like it." Alright, so let's travel. At some point I said I was going to look up the Conqueror of Jiangdong is now available. Upheaval in Zhangyang is now available. Oh, but we've also got In the Name of Eli. So we got sub-battlefields of the DLC that we just finished, and I was complaining it was too short. But so there's sub-battlefields that we could do. For now, though, let's go into the main battlefield of DLC 2. At some point, we may or may not go back and do the side content of DLC 1. This one does look like an actual real shortened level. Oh, is there only one? No, there's 3. Okay, there's Requiem for Deceased, which is like a little level. Tactical exercises. This is going to be some kind of... Yeah, like boss battle, fighting a sequence of guys. Probably, it's probably just you fighting Zhang Liao and... Huh. No, it's probably you fighting Guo Ji and Junyu. I was trying to figure out the... Alright, so it's 3 fields, one of which seems to be some kind of boss gauntlet, and the other 2 both feel like real levels. I guess I could do the sub-levels. No, I kind of started talking about the DLCs. Let's start the DLC, now that we're a third of the way through the video. A dark tide rolls in. We can win a Valiant Pirate Cap, guys. At Jiangyang, UG's dark scheme. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing. We know that this is... Other than maybe EX3, I think all of these have to be set before the end of the main story, because we saw... And this kind of wrecks it from a storytelling perspective. We saw Sun Tzu die, and now we're about to do a DLC that's telling Sun Tzu's story. So obviously this is set before he died. At Jiangyang, Yuji's dark schemes resulted in the death of Sun Jin, the Tiger of Jiangdong. His sons and those who served him cannot spare even a moment to grieve, as they must escape from enemy territory. However, they find their way blocked when, seemingly out of nowhere, Archaeo stalls. A fleet of ships approaches from the river. You must assist Sun Tzu and Sun Quan in making it out safely, and ensure that the brothers can maintain the unity of the Sun Clan. Ooh, hooked on the brothers, the brothers, the brothers. So presumably we'll be playing with Sun Tzu and Sun Quan as our allies / bodyguards. Zhangyang, a non-commandery Jing province. The Han Shui River, the largest tributary of the Yangtze River, surrounds Zhangyang City on 3 sides. Centuries ago, Hanzhong Commandery was established by King Hui Wen of Qin, who took the Han from the name of the Han Shui River. It eventually came to be known as the Great Han, when Liu Bang, who was the king of Hanzhong at the time... Oh man, remember when Liu Bei made himself the king of Hanzhong? I guess that hasn't happened yet in this narrative, but I always thought that was... I always like just got a kick out of the idea that he was going around calling himself the king of Hanzhong. Anyway, Liu Bang, who was the king of Hanzhong at the time, founded the empire and became Emperor Gao Zhou. The fact that the Han Shui River flows southeast and meets the Yangtze in Jing province makes it difficult to travel upriver. On the other hand, by capturing military bases upriver, it becomes viable to train a navy, construct a large fleet, and travel down the Yangtze to cross over. Any warlord who succeeds in this is considered likely to quickly gain control of the downriver region. And I was kind of hoping that it would be done loading by the time I'd read all that, but it is not. All right. Yeah, this will be the fire-themed DLC.
The tiger,
My dad,
who fought for our clan his entire life, met his end at Xiangyang. We have inherited his unfulfilled aspirations, forcing us to retreat from enemy territory with his remains.
His aspirations, not his competence.
Leaving behind our bloodied allies, we finally shook off the pursuing enemy troops and successfully boarded our ship.
The sheep? The sheep's waiting for them?
We then sought out aid from a trusted friend, a great distance away. Battered and beaten, we were still faced with a huge force of formidable foes, without a moment's respite.
You know, this one almost has to be longer than that last one. Because if the first campaign is just going to be us retreating from where Sun Jiang died, then that would give us like 2 missions to conquer all of the Wu territory, which seems a bit ridiculous.
The news of Dad's death may plunge the entire Swen clan.
Why do they keep calling him Dad instead of Father? I thought they'd be a little more formal.
The time for speculation is over.
The time for whooping up on people has begun.
Now, we bring our old man back home.
Your old man? You don't mean like old man to refer to Dad? Better start putting out those fire arrows.
Seems to be an army I've never seen before.
An army of... Oh. Raven warriors. I guess we'll find out who that is later.
Rescue Bofu and the others.
What if it's supposed to be Ling Cao? I'm not sure exactly who that's going to be. Boop. Boop.
Oh, you have my thanks. It appears the rumors about you were not unfounded.
Well, the rumors about you were. I assumed from the ending scene of the vanilla game that Zhou Yu is going to talk like a complete goofy man. Like, he had a really weird little line read in... Anyway, Zhou Yu can now assist us through reinforcements. He's not around for a long time in the books, but he's around for a good time. Like, I chose him to be the avatar that I would play through as an RTK10 like a decade ago when I played that on the channel. Because he's a pretty cool character. He's one of those good all-arounders if you want a guy who's like smart and cultured but can also handle himself in a fight. Zhou Yu is pretty good. Dynasty Warriors games insist on making him like a bit of a pansy. At least TW5 did.
Gongjin is my courtesy name.
Okay.
I've known Bofu since we were kids. We are like brothers.
They were sworn brothers.
Bofu's predicament. I came as fast as I could. These present circumstances are most unpredictable. Bofu and his father, General Sun, both spoke of your exploits at Hulaguan Pass.
Neither of them talk about his
And I would be
brother
grateful for your help.
Sun Quan. So cool beans. I know there's a way that I can like bow. I don't want to kowtow. I want to bow. I guess. I bow slightly to your side. Alright, let's get us a different companion. An additional companion to hang out. We got Zhou Yu, who uses meat to keep the fires hot. He's allied with Sun Jin, who is dead, I think. No, that's not Sun Jin. Who is that then? It's Hamdingers and Huang Gai. It's like Hamdingers is only at level 3 happiness with us. So, and he doesn't seem to care for Cheng Pu's company. Because you can have up to 3 people that you're like, you know, you get like boosts and are really happy to be around. But For him, it's just Chengpu and Hamdingers, I think. I mean, Huang Gai and Hamdinger. Yeah, Chengpu he doesn't like. Si and Chuan are not available to us. Although, wait, Zhou is an allied warrior to them, but they are not to him, or they're just not selectable right now. Sun Chin is dead. These other DLC warriors we can't have for some reason. I don't know. I don't get it. But all right, so let's get Hamdingers out. No, not Hamdingers. Let's get Huang Gai, because we haven't used him very much.
An amiable companion indeed.
You talk about him and not me. That makes me sad. Okay. I'm glad to see you here, Anjin-san, who cosplays as Cao Cao. Irish, English guy from the future who travels to Japan and is cosplaying as Cao Cao. We're happy to see you. Grieving Sun Jin soldier's note. Tell would have found his. Yuan Chu, that malicious man, displays only arrogance and disloyalty. Such a treacherous villain is bound to meet a bad end. General Sun had planned to use Yuan Chu's influence and backing for battle, only to have built a force of his own in due course. Little did we know that before that day could arrive, he would fall so easily on the battlefield and meet his demise. I got totally turned around here. So he's saying Yuan Chu's an asshole, which, yeah, that's pretty much true. Little did we know that before that day would arrive, he would fall so easily on the battlefield and meet his demise. So General Sun had planned to use Yuan Chu's influence and backing for battle, but only to build a force of his own in due course. Little did we know that before that day would come, he would fall so easily on the battlefield and meet his demise. So he's not talking about Yuan Shu meeting his death. He's saying Yuan Shu's an asshole. Oh, by the way, Sun Jin has been defeated. But that, I mean, it's not like Yuan Shu actively betrayed Sun Jin. Whatever. This narrative is suggesting that Sun Jin was never loyal to Yuan Shu, which I don't know if that's implied in these games or not. Or not in the games, but the novel. I guess it kind of is, because yeah, he takes the Imperial Seal. Firecracker, I think that's a new item. He takes...
Feel the pain of one of those fiery arrows. To stay out of sight.
Yeah, because when he finds the seal, one of the oh, that's my yeah, that general whose name I can't remember, whose portrait from RTK I can remember clearly, like big, thick, bushy beard guy is he's kind of all about hey, you should give that to Yuan Shu, and he's like, I'm not going to do that. And that's when things get bad. Can I please focus on this guy? Alright, well, I guess somebody had been defeated by this guy. And I still have some interaction with the world of other players by people having a glowing flame over their head if they defeated other humans. But I've shut off the thing where, you know, like Bartknocker 069 can jump into my game world, which probably means he can't jump in to save me or to help me beat Lu Bu either. Although, honestly, like, that was the big point where, other than the handful of hardcores who were watching everything, the people left this Let's Play behind when I got to the Lu Bu battle, and it took me like 3 videos worth of attempts, which I didn't edit out. But I think if I had been using AI allies throughout, I feel like we would have figured it out a lot faster than we did. I could have sworn I was going to hit him first. He was winding up for his super red attack, and I I didn't try to deflect, I tried to just hit him. You know, this guy never figured out what was going on. But I realized that we came across a Dragon Cure Pot usage, and I felt free to use a Dragon Cure Pot because I had a +1 usage item to be picked up. Over here somewhere, whether it's up on the rocks or down on the ground, I detected a little marking flag up here. So we should get that. Yeah, so how does one get up there, I wonder? I wonder still. I wonder. I think we get up over here. Well, 'Fortitude ranking is now 1. Amazing. These guys are connected on those groups. They have rules where they're connected to each other's morale, and if you sneak up on them, you can... Man, it never seems to work out for me. We got anti-freeze soil. We got some wizard jerk up here. I have to say, there's got to be a way to get to this guy because he's pissing me off. There we go. That's him sorted. Chivalrous dual swords, okay. It's the main thing about those guys with little red symbols over their heads is that they don't seem to respawn when you respawn the other enemies. Well, there's other little ways that, although I overall find them to be agreeable changes, it's one of the ways that this game is easier than the Neo games. Like, not everything comes back every time.
Example for me to follow.
Poisoning my sword and attacking from behind. It's a way of honor. Oh, it's Zhou. He's a strategist. He probably would be down with this approach.
I can already see the enemies fleeing.
Well, then you're tripping on shrooms or something, dude, because that's not actually happening. This shelter, like this, it's not a very convenient building to operate from. It's obviously some kind of wreck, but it's built up enough that it seems weird that there is as little here as there is, like, loot-wise. Although it does seem to support sneaking up on that guy, so maybe that's why it exists. No, there's at least one more. There's a mystic crane here. Oh, there you go. Valiant pirate cap +7. Wow. That's a really high-level pirate cap, you know? So it's not part of a set. Heaviness accumulation, toxin attack power. It's got some good stuff on it. But, alright, whatever. I mean, I've come to realize I've been playing with this South set for a long time, and it's always been pretty good because I keep upgrading it. But what's really brought me to it is that it has marking flag detection, which I could either A, be getting with the help of guides, or B, just find an item, and I think they are out there, that just gives me that. And I could cosplay as somebody else, or even...
The pirate's flagship fell into our trap, just as expected.
Okay.
Since both sides' ships are packed together, we will be able to proceed on foot.
Fruit by the foot?
To eliminate them all. Now, let us set out.
Okay, so I don't know what trap he's talking about, but I guess this is the, hey, show you as a strategist portion of the narrative here. Okay, well, there's a... stuff up on the roof of this ship if we can get to it. Oh. Alright. So water on the left, fine. Water on the right is instant death, I would assume. Doesn't look like we're meant to be able to get to the roof of this boat from the boat. But there were people on that boat shooting at us before. Like, I don't... Oh, wait. That white paint indicates that this is jumpable. That's their little clue. So, in fact, you do get to the roof of this boat from this boat. And I revenge Salamander. That guy. Yeah, it seemed like people were like before. It seemed like people were on this boat firing fire arrows, trying to make grass burn. Anyway, here's a tiger seal, so that's desperately important because that means that I don't have to spend like 10 or 15 minutes sometime in the next a month from now to continue to have infinite tiger seals by grinding for like 10 or 15 minutes of that one spot that gives you tiger seals. All right, well, it looks like anyway we did need to come over here because that they have not been setting things up so far in this game where, oh, don't hit that thing and release the boat / open the gate / whatever before you've done this or you'll permanently lock yourself out of stuff. Like, they haven't been doing that, so that would appear to have been a thing we needed to do to advance the level, and that no harm came of us doing it at this time. Speaking of at this time, I think I'm going to call it a video at this time, and when we come back next time, we will continue our efforts to help Zhou find his sworn brother, who's like his brother in this version of events, Sun Tzu. It's really important that we rescue Sun Tzu now so that he can die in the vanilla game. This is where telling stories out of order sometimes cuts into the dramatic stakes, but I don't know, if you're a Koei game fan, like, some of these story events are really interesting the first time, and then you got to find other reasons to like the games, because, like, you can't really be that shocked when Sun Tzu dies early. Anyway, I'll catch you guys next time.